Oh, hold on. You can't hear the music again. One sec. Ah, let's try it again. Hold on.
Welcome.
To the joy of coding.
Hello, and welcome to episode 347 of The Joy of Coding. I'm Mike Conley, and so good to have you here. Going to be live hacking on some Firefox stuff as per usual. If you happen to catch just now my false start, my apologies. You know that these things happen. In fact, that's a perfect segue into my first bullet. Let me actually share my screen. So yeah, it's November 15th, 2023, episode 347. And this is what I want to emphasize. No plan survives breakfast. I think I know what I'm going to be doing today. I think I know what's going to happen, but things might not go according to plan. The sound might not route properly. The thing that I want to work on, we might get stuck on it, or we might be blocked by the fact that my Windows machine just updated itself, or who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? But we'll deal with it as we come. None of this has been pre-rehearsed or sort of pre-planned ahead of time. We're, as I say, capturing software development in the raw, doing our best. You're effectively sitting down and watching me work like I normally would, except that I'm going to be speaking out loud while I do it. That's the first thing. The second thing is that the agenda that we're looking at with all these fancy, handy-dandy links is something that you have access to. Depending on where you are, they're going to be in a couple different places. So if you're watching this on YouTube or diode.zone, there's a link to the agenda down in the video description. On Air Mozilla, it's over in the details section over there. And on Twitch, it's down in the channel details. And as I update the agenda, if I type stuff in, this little doodad will synchronize. And if you hit reload, you'll see the most up-to-date version of the agenda. And I want to get right into jump list stuff because we made some pretty big progress last week. So if you watched last week's episode, you will know that we were wrestling with this weird bug where some of our strings they weren't being compared properly, and then we figured out how to properly do string interpolation in native code, and we figured out how to do that with gecko strings, and we had this weird comparison issue where for some reason the strings weren't being truncated in the way that we expected, and we found out that this is because gecko strings don't include the null character when doing things like setting length or truncating to a particular length, whereas Windows strings, whenever they cut off, the cutoff length includes the null character, and so we had to take that into account. But we figured it out, and I think at this point we can say that that's done. Manually test long title. We might want to do that. I don't know if I actually want to further deduplicate these tests. I'm actually pretty happy with the way the tests are. It would be a good idea to manually test a very long title just to make sure things don't break in that case. And then what I want to do is apply the feedback. The big thing I wanted to do today was apply the feedback from my reviewer. What was their name? Actually, so this is my Windows machine that it rebooted itself because of a Windows update that I wasn't expecting. So, as you do. And, whoops. Where's my stuff on this machine? Yeah, there we go. The bug that I care about is bug. I should probably shut down this virtual machine. I don't need it for now. This one. We'd gotten some great feedback from someone. RK Rissig. And there were two things that they were talking about. The first is that we can probably make our NS main thread pointer holder stuff a little less verbose. I'm hoping we can do that today. And then the other thing is I want to address this question that RK Ressig asks here. And then I'm hoping we can put the whole thing up for review. There's actually, hang on. There's one more thing I want to land on top of it. RK, RAESIG. And then I also want to write a patch that allows us to enable the new backend remotely via remote settings for experimentation. That's what I want to do today. So let's start with this NS main thread pointer holder stuff. We briefly looked at what he said last week. I need to kind of refresh my memory. So he says that, here, let me zoom in so we can all read this. My understanding, oh yeah, we were talking about, I explained this last week, that it's not about accidentally doing a null dereference. It was because we might accidentally keep a thing alive because ref counts aren't necessarily thread safe, and that's what NS main thread pointer holder helps us sort of avoid, is accidentally leaking objects. And then per the comment in proxy release, I think these should also generally be NS main thread pointer handle as opposed to NS main thread pointer holder. So let's look at the proxy release documentation. I think this is the first time I've noticed that these two things are different. There's pointer holder and then there's pointer handle. Let's see if we can see this comment. The semantics of main thread pointer holder would be cumbersome, so we also introduce main thread pointer handle, which is conceptually identical. So where one would do instead of doing ref pointer pointer holder, we just do main thread pointer handle. I guess it's just an alias. Okay. Well, that sounds relatively straightforward to do. So let's pull up our editor, and we'll fix that right now. I'll also make sure, do we have any of our history here? Yeah, we do. Looks like a bunch of stuff may have updated. I have to update my license. Oh, geez. Okay. Well, let's go into jump list builder and look for any of the cases where we've got ref pointer, main thread pointer holder. So we've got 12 matches. No thanks. Let's start at the basic ones. Let's just pick one. Let's start right at the top of the file and try and convert one of them. So we use make ref pointer NS main thread pointer holder promise. So the claim is that I should just be able to use NS main thread pointer handle like this, I think. Main thread pointer handle promise. Is that true? Because I was using make. Whoops. Make ref pointer main thread pointer holder. Let's look at examples in the wild. So yeah, I was copying it off of this thing, but presumably there's a better way of doing this. NS main thread pointer handle. Here's a promise holder. And then we say new main thread. Okay. I don't mind that. Promise. Make ref pointer. Okay, so it's not that different. We're going to say NS main thread pointer handle. Oh boy, a lot of lag on my Windows machine today. Promise. And then we're going to call it promise holder. So we're actually going to move this over here. Promise holder equals new NS main thread pointer holder promise. And then we put these as your arguments, your constructor arguments. That is apparently the construct. And then, presumably, I can just say ns main thread pointer handle here rather than ref pointer ns main thread pointer holder. And then I can get rid of this fella. And then if we find do is available, do I want to change this to be ns main thread pointer handle as an argument? Is that a thing that people do? .h? Yeah. Oh, as an argument. .h. Yeah, that's a thing that people do. Okay. Go ahead and do that. And then promise holder. If we change now the definition of do is available to be pointer handle, then does it compile? That's the question. Ocris is like, no way, another Firefox hacking stream? You better believe it. You better believe it. So if that's all we need to do, that's fairly mechanical. That shouldn't take us more than a few minutes. We can do the rest of them. And then I also want to answer his question here about arguments. Something's not right. Something is not right. Miss Clavel. No member named Get in Mozilla DOM Promise. Do I not need to do that second hop? Maybe I don't need to do that second hop. Let's see. Do I just do this? Oh, wow. Look at the delay here. Oh, this is just Windows being slow. Okay. Delay. Get. Okay. Is that... Will that... Are you happy now? Build was successful. Come on, Mock. Get it together. I just realized my email's open. I'm just going to go ahead and quit that. Let's see. I'm hoping I get it now. Oh, no, it has no idea what I'm talking about. Do I already have the promise? Is the promise holder the promise? Can I just do a promise holder maybe resolve? Can I just do that? That'd be great. Is that what it's saying? Build was successful. Come on, Mock. I know you're better than that. Now, why would that be if I'm using the pointer handle? So we introduced conceptual identical. The base pattern is as follows: pointer handle. All structs and classes that might be accessed and not that should store and pointer handle. Thread safe reference. Must be instantiation of the thread. Still not happy. Still not happy. Now it's upset that promise holder cannot be implicitly captured in a lambda. That's on line 397. Here. Oh, whoops. Yeah, sorry. It should be promise holder, not a promise holder. Lambda. Okay, so if this builds, I think we've got a blueprint for moving forward. Let's talk a little bit about the thing I want to do after we answer RK Racing's question, after we do this sort of mechanical cleanup. Still not happy. Still not happy. Binding reference to value of type const drops const qualifier. Binding reference. What? What? So something needs to be a const somewhere. Drops const binding reference. Does this need to be a const? By using a main thread pointer handle, did that sort of get built in as an implicit assumption? I could believe it. I could believe it. Let's find out. We're learning lessons. Okay, how do we instrument things so that they can be sort of controlled remotely? That's the thing that we're going to want to do when we're done all this RK-Resig stuff. Here, while that's hopefully going to compile, I can show you the file where we do that sort of thing. It's in a file called feature manifest. No, still not happy, eh? What's your problem? R value reference to type const cannot bind to L value of const stored type. R value reference to type const NS main thread pointer handle Mozilla DOM promise cannot bind to L value of const stored type, aka const NS main thread pointer handle. What? That const NS main thread pointer handle Mozilla DOM promise. These are the same thing. Are they not? Am I missing something here? It's like, hey, R value is of type const NS main thread pointer handle Mozilla DOM promise. L value is const stored type, aka const NS main thread pointer handle Mozilla DOM promise. An instantiation of function template specialization. Oh. I missed a spot. I missed a spot. Do is available. I think I missed a spot. I think I need to say new run. I think I might have to say const here as well. Is that right? Do other people have this problem? Is that typically how it's done? No. All right, well, let's try putting it there and see what happens. Making everything const. Chris Strickus is typing. I wonder, maybe Chris has the solution I need from this cryptic compiler. Hi, thanks for these streams. Hoping I can learn experienced dev habits through osmosis with them open. Oh, hi, Chris Strikis. Thanks for watching. I hope we all gain something. Yeah, it's all good. You know, don't worry about it. I'm just glad to have you here. Don't worry about it. We'll figure it out. Okay, R value reference to type cannot bind to. That is the same thing. Note, in instantiation of function template specialization, constants apply. So templates builder, constant promise anonymous class. Requested here while substituting deduce template arguments in function template. Start by const lref. You know what would be awesome is if it gave me an idea of what to do. Because, yeah, it is not doing that. So this is exactly what I mean by, no plan survives breakfast. This is, I think, what we're doing today. We're going to try and figure this thing out. So let's look at the definition of NS main thread pointer handle. Operator. These all call through as what I thus implicitly assert that we're on the main thread. Off main thread consumers must treat these handles as opaque. I don't see anything in here that would force this to be a const. Let's see if we can see more usages in the wild of this. And then you pass in the main thread promise. It's a const main thread pointer handle promise reference. And then we assign it. And then we call get loaded modules result runnable. Promise. Okay, so let's back up. So notice that there was like this. We didn't say this was a constant, but as soon as we passed it to this other thing, that I think we're not getting magically. That I think runnable. DOM promise. Here's another one. Promise holder, new runnable function, promise holder. And here we end up using promise holder dot get maybe resolve. So already that's significantly different than what we had down here. Promise holder dot get maybe resolve false. Maybe that's what we want. So that's, I'm going to do that. Promise holder dot get maybe resolve is available. Okay, I don't think that'll fix it. But that gets us closer to something that we know seems to work for other people. What else we have out there? Pormus. Promise telemetry. Yeah, that's what we were looking at, I think, before. Profiler, main thread promise sampler. We're back at the top. Not too many uses that we can see here off the bat. Okay. Let's back up for a second here. Do is available. I'm going to go back. I'm going to change the definition to be this. Let's just hold on for a second here. Do is available. Promise holder. New runnable method. Main thread pointer handle promise. Standard move. Right. Dispatch the runnable. Do is available. I wonder if it's this. I wonder if it's that. Because I wonder if... So notice what we had before. We've got like this 2 layers of indirection. We've got a promise, and we've got a main thread pointer holder, and we've got a ref pointer, and we do like a reference. And I think some of that's actually being folded up inside of NS main thread pointer handle. We might only need one of these. I'd like to see how the compiler feels about this. Okay, again, while we're waiting for that to build and hopefully not fail, I can show you feature manifest. So this is where we kind of declare to our experimentation backend of like, here are all the things that can be tweaked remotely for experimentation. For example, we did things with like migration, like the migration wizard, where we were able to slowly roll out the migration wizard and control it and experiment with it. We can like, whether or not we allow migrating extensions, we're able to do controlled rollout. And ultimately what it's doing is it's flipping a pref under the hood. And I think I want to do something similar here. Excuse me. Windows launch on login. I think I jump. I'm probably going to want to add like a whole new top level thing called like Windows jump lists. Okay, still not compiling. Still not happy. It's still binding reference of type drops the const qualifier. To value of type const stored type. Const stored type. When we use store copy pass by const lref. And why would we use that? Why does that get used? Oh boy. Struct is parameter storage class. I'm very confused. Smart pointer storage class. That might be why. Type equals smart pointer. Who uses this? All right, I'm going in circles. Going in circles, gang. Okay, so once again, let's put that back and see what happens. Any better? Binding of reference to a value of drops qualifiers. Oh, Smurf D with the Stack Overflow. Okay, it tries to indicate that if a proper fractional size, you'd be able to modify the object through a reference and notify the object as itself as const, breaking const correctness. Tries to call the const function when it takes the second argument by non-const reference. It's linking. Okay, so I think we were able to satisfy it. Thank you, compiler gods. I'll sacrifice a patch to the compiler gods. Just here, I got a patch printed out here on some paper. Let me just light this on fire. Hold on. Thank you, compiler gods. All right, let's run the tests to see whether or not it actually works. And if it does, then all right, we're in fine shape. It's just a little annoying. There were a number of things we needed to learn there. I guess NS main thread pointer handle does simplify some things, but boy howdy, like there were some hidden things under the hood. Yeah, Smurf D, you said weird though you had that before. I think it was the double ampersand in conjunction with the lack of const. I think that's what was burning me there. Okay, let's do the next one. Let's do check for removals. So while we're here, we're going to switch this from pointer handle to const, or pointer holder to const pointer handle, and we're going to get rid of that second ampersand. And then over in here, we're going to do check for removals. So this becomes const ns main thread pointer handle, and we'll get rid of the second ampersand. And then here we're just going to simplify some of this stuff by just saying promise holder dot get maybe reject. And then where else do we do promisey things? Here, promise holder dot get maybe resolve. And then the place that do check for removals calls, or is called from here, we're going to use the exact same infrastructure here, the exact same sort of phrasing. But we're going to update the description. And then we have to update our definition here to be a, remind me again, was it const? No, we just say pointer handle promise. Okay. Okay, let's see if it's happy with this. See, we have just demonstrated learning. Hopefully, if this compiles, it's like, okay, we learned our lesson. We got our knuckles wrapped a little bit, and you know, by the compiler. But we think we learned something, and let's apply our lesson, or learnings, as some people say. Use the learnings, also known as lessons. I think. I don't know. Is there a distinction between a lesson and a learning? Write below what you think. I'm not entirely certain there's a distinction. I've heard, I think, like, whenever I hear people doing presentations, they'll use the term learning. Like a learning. This is a learning. This is the learning that we learned. It is a learning. But I've also, like, I mean, when I think about it, it's like, isn't that a lesson? One learns a lesson. But maybe there's a more, like, a fine distinction. Maybe there's something more, maybe there's a nuance there that I'm missing. I don't know. Language is tricky. Also, language evolves, gang. So let it happen. I'm not going to be a pedant. Okay, so that built. I'm going to presume that test is going to run correctly. Let's move on to the next one. So instead of NS main thread pointer handle, actually, I liked how we started from the header. That was nice. We're going to use, let's do populate jump list. That's a nice one. That's the big kahuna. So do populate jump list. That's the big important method. And then where we do promise holder thingy, we're just gonna one line it. And then down here where we resolve, also one line it. Okay, and then we go to the place where we actually call or queue up the runnable that calls this. It's over here. Nope, sorry, it's not. It's over here. And this is where we, once again, copy some of the infrastructure from our previous take on this. So we'll change the string. And over here, instead of saying a ref pointer such and such, I'll say pointer handle, right? Is that correct? C'est correct? C'est correct? I don't know. I think c'est correct. Let's build. And then c'est correct. How many more of these are there? Three more. It's just this last one, clearing the jump list. And then we're done. C'est correct? Je ne sais pas. Je ne sais pas. I learned from a friend of mine who is French Canadian that if you want to sound really dismissive in French Canada, Anytime someone says something, you just go like, don't be, which I think means whatever. Don't be. Correct me if I'm wrong, Danny. C'est correct? Don't be? Let me know. All right, clearing the jump list. Let's do this last one, and we can put this thing to bed. I do like that we're using const here now. That does feel nice. As a rule, if you can, const arguments, if that for things that aren't supposed to be modified by the caller, is a nice way of making sure that, you know, your stuff's not getting changed out from underneath you by some caller, some dependency of a thing that you're calling. And you can enforce that, like you can check for that, and it's enforced at compile time. All right, so do clear jump list. Here we are. So we're going to get rid of one of those and one of those. We're going to simplify this a little bit. Whoops. Got confused. I went a little too fast for Windows clipboard. I think my clipboard contents should apply. And same dealio. Okay, and now the thing that calls it. Man, tooltip from Sublime Bug. Brutal. All right, we're gonna copy this over. If you're worried about the formatting, I'm just gonna run the auto formatter in a second once all this is done. Whoop, no, I didn't mean to do that. Populate jump list. Did this always just have that typo? This should be like this. Clear jump list promise. That was a pre-existing bug. Good. Glad we caught it. Okay. We get rid of ref pointer. Get rid of that guy. And we're going to say here like that. That should do it. Come on now. Crikey. It's Lincoln. It's Lincoln Park. It starts with one. Okay, while that's doing that, yeah, that's nice. We're gonna run the tests, and then we're going to run the linters. We're gonna absorb these changes. I'm gonna answer RK Racing's question. I'm going to then add a new patch on top of this, which adds the ability to remotely control this stuff, and then I'm ready to go ahead and push it up for real review. All right, looking good. So mock lint outgoing fix. Can I do that if I haven't committed stuff yet? It might want me to commit first, but let's find out. Okay, so then over here, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new top level item inside of feature manifest for this. Like, is there a Windows section? I don't know. Windows launch on login. I'm going to add one here. It's going to be like Windows jump list. Windows jump list. Description. Controls for the Windows jump list backend. Owner, it me. False. Is early startup true? Variables. New backend enabled. Type Boolean. Boolean. Legacy backend. Put that here. Legacy backend is what it should really be called. Should users see use the legacy Windows jump list backend? True if users should use the legacy Windows jump list backend. Okay. Meanwhile, did this run? Problem linting. Oh. Oh, but it did fix some things. Okay. So, diff. So, it fixed those things that I was worried about. That's good. Good, good. That all looks great. Good. HG absorb. I haven't saved this, have I? Good. I have not. HG absorb. Set correct. And then add our new patch on top. Oh, yeah, sorry. We got to save over here. Maybe backend's not the right word. Controls for Windows jump list implementation. Integration? And oh, yeah, it shouldn't be OMC. It should be me. I'm the owner. Why is OMC the owner here? Well, it's me now. All right. And so that's the one thing there that I've added. I'm going to say that bug such and such, add the ability to enable the new Windows jump list mechanism via experimenter. And that is our patch stack, gang. So here's what I'm gonna do. Did I explain this one enough? Did this get a good commit message? Let me just double check. I think I need to update the commit message on this to include the fact that we also like to explain what's going on here. According to the Microsoft documentation, this is the maximum length of the string allowed for the description property of an I shell link W. This also adds a test for long descriptions to ensure that they are properly truncated. This patch also adjusts the tests a little bit to be less racy, particularly with the set app ID routine in the jump list builder constructor. This patch also, 1, adjusts the test to be less racy. The set app ID routine in the jump list builder constructor, and it also, what was the other thing we did? Fixes the issue where the tests weren't properly copying in the intended strings for title, test titles, and descriptions. Okay. So you're ready for the migration to Git? Oh yeah. Newsflash. Boop, 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 boop. I don't know if you heard. Development is moving from, well, I mean, we've been using Mercurial for as long as I've worked on Mozilla source code. You know, right from the very beginning, we were using Mercurial. And I remember at the very beginning really struggling with it. I found it such a pain in the butt because we didn't have things like Evolve. We didn't have lightweight branches. We used something called Mercurial queues. It felt very cumbersome and clunky, and I didn't understand the advantages that it had over Git. Over time, I learned what those advantages are and why we initially made the decision to use Mercurial over Git. It was because there was no Windows support for Git whenever we made the decision, because that was long ago. GitHub didn't exist, at least I don't think, and Mercurial and Git were like neck and neck, but Mercurial had better Windows support and also had backing from Facebook and Google and stuff. But the winds have definitely changed since then. Git seems to be where it's at. Most shops these days are using Git. Even I suspect Facebook is considering switching away. I don't quote me on that. Like, I don't have inside information, but I would guess that that's something that they are considering. Mozilla, we recently announced that, okay, look, we've been using Mercurial for a long time. It's a major obstacle for new contributors who aren't used to Mercurial and who are more used to Git. You know, people who go to school for, you know, writing software. That's the tool that they're more familiar with whenever it comes to source control. It seems, from our experience anyways. And I think GitHub's a major part of that. And so yeah, we are switching development to Git. So in a couple of months' time, you might see me using Git rather than Mercurial, and we'll see what that's like. I also mentioned speed for Mercurial. Yeah, in the past, I remember hearing that Mercurial used to be a lot better, more efficient for larger repositories. You know, whenever it comes to like Mercurial was designed to scale well for mono repos. That's why, for example, I mean, Facebook has historically used Mercurial because they have just one gigantic monolithic repository, and as I understand it, Git has caught up performance-wise. So I don't know if there's like a performance advantage to Mercurial anymore for large mono repos. So yeah, that's where it's at. I have mixed feelings about it. I mean, I completely understand. It's the right call. It is absolutely the right call. I am going to miss some of the capabilities that I have with Mercurial. I'm hoping that I can discover new capabilities with Git. I'm going to really miss Absorb. I love Absorb so much, and I don't think an equivalent exists for Git, but I'd be so happy if I was wrong. All right, let's submit this stuff. Apply feedback from RK Raysig. Is that how you spell it? Raysig, yeah. And add a fix the long description bug, and fix tests, and what's the last thing? Add a new patch for controlling the backend via Experimenter. Wow. Now MozFab needs to update itself. It's going to fail because it always does. But I could be wrong. Nope. It failed. Install MozFab. It always fails when I try and do that. But then I just do pip install MozFab and it's fine. So something about Windows and the timing. I think something's holding on to file handle onto the DLL unexpectedly. Wow, this is busy. What's going on here? Okay, anyways. Yeah, so I'm gonna be learning Git. I know maybe someone will create the equivalent of Git Cinnabar, but for HG. Maybe you should also update pip. That's a good question. Yeah, new release of pip is available. I'm running 22.22. I guess I could update pip. Yeah, why not? I'll do that next. Okay. Hey, guess what, gang? These patches are up for review. I'm really happy about them. Maybe we can take a pause on the jump list stuff for just a little bit. Or at least on the back end parts of it. Well, let's take a look at the to-do list. Apply the feedback. Oh, I wanted to answer his question. Do we ever assemble this argument string for parse, or we just receive it from the OS and treat it as opaque nonsense? In the form case, arguments should probably be the DOM string, and we should run it through make command line. Creates command line from a list of arguments. Do we ever assemble this argument string from parts? When we construct the arguments for these items in Windows jump lists. Manually, we construct them manually. Windows jump lists.sys.js manually here, and in the case when we're opening a URL, we just supply the URL as the lone argument to the executable. We parse and deal with those arguments. I think there are a couple places. Content handler, private. Yeah. Here. We handle it in browser content handler.mjs. But by the time it reaches that function, it has been wrapped. It has been parsed and parsed into an NSI command. Was it NSI command? Line handler. NSI command line. NSI command line. NSI command line that we then interrogate for each individual flag argument. Is that not sure? Does that I'm not 100% sure if that answers your question. Does it? Okay, and then I'm not going to mark it as done. I will now submit this. Okay. And then I can mark that as done. I want to manually test long title. Okay, let's do that right now. So mock build. Danny Colin's like, I'm really curious what's the next big thing you're gonna work on. Oh, geez, good question. I feel like this may have been a lesson. You know, we stuck with this thing for so long, and I've only been working on it during the stream. And I wonder if we should try and like scale down a little bit. You know, the people who really stuck it out, I think, probably maybe they got to see a very interesting arc. But, you know, for people who are kind of dipping in, this has probably been nonsensical. Like, I'm actually very curious. If you are watching this stream and you want to give some feedback, there is a rate this episode form at the very end of the agenda, or at the end of the today part of the agenda. And let me know if you would prefer that I work on smaller things, or if you didn't mind that I worked on a very large thing for basically a year, you know, just during the episode. Or would you be okay if I worked on a thing that's large, but, you know, I continue working on it whenever we're not streaming, and then you can kind of like see where I've caught up with it. Like, let me know. I've done all of those variations before, but I don't know which is like preferred. There's some other to-dos in here that we should consider. So write a G-test. That's done. I'm gonna move this stuff to here. Descriptive error result type. That sounds like a good follow-up bug. See if we should clear the jump list on pref change or clear private data. That also sounds like follow-up bug. This sounds like follow-up bug. This sounds like follow-up bug. But let us manually test the long title case. How am I going to do that? I guess what I'll do is config legacy backend is false. So we've got our new backend here, new shiny. That's very nice. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bookmark, or I'm going to visit. What am I going to do? I am going to. This is all by frequent. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to delete some history here. Manage history. I'm going to delete all of this history. Oh, no, I can control the name here. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. Wait, can I edit it? No, I cannot edit it. This is for some reason styled like a text input, but it's just a readout. So I'm going to get rid of some history. And if I open up this, I should be able to force the jump list to update itself. Yep, okay. And now I'm going to visit this Guardian website, and I'm going to update the title of this page. I think I can do this. Document.title equals this is a very long string. And I'm just gonna copy and paste this a lot. I don't know what the limit is. Let's do this for a while. Okay. Well, that did not update. What does our history say that this is? I had no idea it would be so painful. We might actually have to construct a simple web page. jsbin.com. Title. Just gonna copy this string. I'm gonna put that in there. Run. I'm gonna visit this. Let's open it in a new window. How do I open it as a new window? I think there's a way I can do that. Run with JS output. I think like I save snapshot. Publish, download, save as template. Isn't there? Maybe I'm CodePen? Surely there's start. Just want to render. Show me this frame, open frame in a new tab. No? And if I did that over here, output, this frame, open frame in new tab. Seriously? I just want a super long title, gang. There we go. Now, does history have that as part of like, yeah, there we go. It's a very long title. Woo! Very good. Okay, now let us run our update routine. So, didn't see an exception thrown. It gets just truncated. That's nice. That's nice. I can live with that. Okay. So, we did that test. Danny Colin says, I really liked seeing the whole process even though Windows stuff isn't really my thing. Okay. Cool. Cool. All right. I am going to now have a new section that's like file follow-up bugs. And then that's one for this. Right there. Migrate the new jump list builder off of a dedicated lazy thread onto the IO thread pool instead. Consider making a rejection value. Yeah, see if we can clear jump list. And then this is like not a jump list bug. This is a G-test bug, but I'd like to file that as well. I'm not going to do that now. Let's do something a little bit more interesting to celebrate. So I have these like other bugs that I think might be fun to work on in the background, and maybe we can try and knock one of these out. Let's see. Don't offer to open non-linked text. Looks like URL such as file names. Right, developer documentation for page icon protocol. Wrong hitbox. Still possible to open in private browsing. Intermittent. References from safe mode. Empty format not hidden. Customization breaks drag and drop. Maybe more. All right, let's take a look at this. What is this? Customization breaks drag and drop. Actually, I have another one that might be really interesting. Hold on a second. This one really bugs me, and I've let me see if I can find the bug for it. Status. Is it this one? Just 1 second. Just 1 second. Oh boy. Let me see if I can reproduce the issue that I'm talking about here. So if I go to a YouTube, let's open up the browser. Let's see if I can reproduce this real quick. We can investigate. I just found out, by the way, that we've already got one review for these patches. Molly already came in, saved the day, has accepted this little patch right there, NBD, no big deal, but got to review this one, and we'll see how that goes. Yeah. Okay. So if I go to YouTube and I go to some video, let's just pick any video, lo-fi hip hop, and then I immediately full screen. Check it out. You see that little guy in the corner? That URL?
I chose Wix for
display?
my business
And it's
because of
gonna
its
stay there
massive scope for
forever.
functionality.
Until, you know, I exit full screen and like float over something. Or maybe it'll just stay there until I switch tabs. And then it'll go away. That is super annoying. I don't know when that got introduced. That might be a really old bug, but I would like to understand what's happening there. Yeah. I don't know if other people have seen this before. But that, yeah, other people are like, yeah, I've seen it. It's getting on my nerves. Let's see if we can figure out what's going wrong there. Thanks, Lo-Fi Girl. So here is, let's find the source code that powers that display. I think it's called status panel. Where is status panel? Did it get moved? Status panel. Here it is. Tab browser. Status panel. We lazily get access to the panel. Check to see whether or not the panel is visible. If there's this update method that detects whether or not we're frozen or not, it's going to like set the contents of it. Overlink, default status. It'll do the cropping. What does the hiding on transition end? The panel becomes hidden. If not, is visible. Set the label. If the label the panel will become hidden in a couple of different places. One is here on transition end. And where's the other? It's just this one place. So on transition end is fired when? What kind of transitions are we talking about here? If not is visible, then panel hidden is true. What controls is visible? Is visible. Return whether or not the panel has the attribute inactive. Inactive. Who sets inactive? Here, and when we're setting the label, in the event that the value is empty. Okay, so let us now do some debugging. We're going to do some log point stuff. So in the debugger, panel, we're going to say checking is visible. Stop panel has attribute inactive. And then here, update called setting the label. Label setter called with val. The inactive attribute removal triggers a transition. Panel, remove attribute inactive. Removing inactive attribute. Adding inactive attribute. Transition ended. Okay, so when we normally, like, here, let's clear the decks here, and we're gonna maybe Let's organize our windows a little bit here so we can read stuff. I'm also going to get rid of warnings. Okay. So periodically this thing will be called. I'm going to reload. Thing is visible. And then it's not visible. There. Now it's visible and then it goes invisible. Now, I don't know what sets it to visible false. Let's go back up a little bit to see where it is visible. Visible is true and then it's removing the inactive. Label setter called with transferring data. Label setter called with transferring data from fonts. Call TPC. Label setter called with empty. Adding the inactive attribute. Empty, empty, empty. And so this is hiding the label. Okay. So what happens whenever we shift reload and I full screen now? No, I think I might need to open a new tab for this to occur. Okay. Hold your horses. Oh, how come I can't reproduce it now? Do I need to be in a wider window? Maybe I need to be in the wider window. Okay, then I'm going to move this over here. So you can't see it, unfortunately, but I do have the window open. Okay. Try again. Huh. I wonder, do we have a race condition because I've got log points enabled? Okay, what happens if I disable my log points? Disable all. Can I reproduce easily? Whoops. I think I greatly confused YouTube there for a second. Okay. Okay, let's do a restart. How about a different video? How about coffee at work? Okay, there I got it. So it can be done. Notice that the ad ran, and I wonder if that's related. The ad needed to run. So let me re-enable the log points. I need an ad to run. How do I get... Of all things, I need to get an ad to run. I need an ad. How do I get an ad to run on YouTube? Does anyone know how to get an ad to run on YouTube? Of all things. What are we looking for? I am looking for the little status symbol to stay there in the corner whenever I full screen. Oh, there we go. There we go. Got one. Got one. Okay. Let's disable our log points now. We got it from this Monterey aquarium. Let's take a look at our log points. So tracking is visible. Transition ended. Label setter called with this. Notice that the label setter is never called again. So the reason that it sticks around is because the label setter wasn't called again with nothing. Normally, whenever it goes away, the label setter is called with the empty string. Update. So is it possible we're simply not calling hide for some reason? Update, 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 update. Hide. All right, well, let's look at some of these things. Browser.js. Set overlink. Link target display update. If we're over the link, hide over link immediately, we'll hide. 5643. Hide. Hide works by clearing the timeout and calling status panel update. .603. .5643 and then update. Update is called at 7286. And that is tab browser. Update. And then we check to see whether or not the label will be empty. Text. Label element. Text. Text. Cropped equals false. Text length. Text is Zool browser window, depending on the type of types. We're going to check to see if we're overlink. If we're busy, we're going to check status. Otherwise, we're also going to check default status. Push goes. Oh, x push 1, x dot push 2. Yeah, it goes on the end, so I should, yeah. So overlink, it'll do overlink, then status, then default status. It's going to access this thing and compute that the text is maybe something. I think that's maybe what I want to log next. So a bunch of the this stuff I can probably clear out. What I want to log is 7297 found text for type, and then we'll say text. If text.length, this presumes there is text. I guess if label element value is not equals to text and not is visible, and not is visible is this is very circuitous. Inactive. And inactive is only set whenever the label has been set to nothing. So if we're not visible, oh, I see. But if we are visible, we'll only do this if the label element for the status panel isn't the same. And then we'll do this. Okay, that is something I think we need to log. This dot label element dot value text, and then this dot is visible. Not. There we go. Okay, back to our test case. This over here. No. That one comes with an ad, but you know what I wonder if it also has to do with, let me slow down the network. Let's slow down my network a little bit. No. No. Slowing down my network is not helping. I'm not even looking at the videos that I'm showing. I don't know if any of this stuff is worth looking at. Oh, I've got no throttling again? What happened here? Regular 2G. Okay, that's maybe too much. Regular 3G. Oh boy. Okay, that's also too much. Regular 4G. Dang, YouTube. Come on. Oh, I was too slow. Come on, come on. All right, well, it's 2:36. Just let it be known that I'm aware that this bug exists. I will also note that one of my colleagues has assigned themselves to this bug, and so maybe they've already started to investigate it. This is a pain in the butt of a bug. Yeah. I need a way of like reproducing it reliably. So far, no dice. Well, I might have to cap it there, but I'm going to go talk to my colleague who's been working on this bug because it'd be nice to fix this one. This one was a pain in the butt. I'm not a fan. All right. Well, let's call it there. JS was a mistake. Ocris mentions that they never have that issue. Interesting. Well, I'm going to call it there. Thanks so much for watching what episode was this? Episode 347 of The Joy of Coding. We got our Windows jump list stuff up for review. Molly's looking at it. The best people are looking at it, making sure that we've written good code. They're all accepted. Unbelievable. Woo! We could try. So we are in the midst of a soft freeze. So next week after the soft freeze, I think we can try and land these. And I'm very excited about that. We should do a try push just to make sure there aren't any surprises. I'll do that. I'll do that after I'm done the stream. I'll just push to try. That's not very interesting for you to watch, but that's very exciting. Reviews across the board. Look at all that green. All right. Congratulations, everyone. Thumbs up. Thanks again for watching episode. What a way to cap it. What a way to end it. Excuse me. Thanks again for watching episode 347 of The Joy of Coding. Let me know what you thought. There's a link at the end of the today section for rate this episode. I'm actually going to drop that link into the chat as well in case people just want to click on it there. And I read everything that comes in. It's a great place to ask me questions or give me comments or anything I can do to make things better. Rate this episode link. Please let me know. Give me your feedback. What would you like to see more of? What do you want to see less of? Do you want me to work on bigger things, smaller things, medium things? What do you want? What do you want? What do you want? What do you want? It was from the notepad, the notebook, right? What do you want? What do you want? I haven't seen that movie in a long time. Anyway, let me know what you want with the rate this episode link, and I will hopefully see you next week with episode 348. Take care, everybody. Have yourselves a great week. Vielen Dank. Take care. Bye-bye.
The joy of coding.
See ya.